We're making available a video, A Taste of Dyslexia, which was recorded in 2005. But there are a few issues that I want to talk about in this video that update that initial workshop. So I want to cover why a video from 2005 is still relevant, look at what's happened to the definition of dyslexia in the intervening years, the expansion from dyslexia to covering some other specific learning difficulties, and the way in which motivation is handled in the 2005 video. I'm still having conversations with a lot of people about what is dyslexia? Why does it need to be taken seriously? And this is work which I was doing back in the last century, and a video was recorded of a workshop in 2005 and made available as a DVD. A lot of that DVD is still relevant today. The experience of dyslexia is what people live with and have to work with, and other people need to understand what is going on. So the activities that were in the workshop in 2005 are still very relevant today, and the discussion is relevant. Back in 2005, there was a rather general definition of dyslexia which just covered 4 points. In 2024, just recently, there's been a more specific definition of dyslexia produced by the SBLD Assessment Standards Committee, otherwise known as SASC, and this is what they say. Dyslexia is primarily a set of processing difficulties that affect the acquisition of reading and spelling. In dyslexia, some or all aspects of literary attainment are weak in relation to age, standard teaching and instruction, and level of other attainments. And you can see I've put level of other attainments are stronger because it's important to focus on what dyslexic SBLD people do well, as well as the things that go wrong. Across languages and age groups, difficulties in reading and spelling fluency are a key marker of dyslexia. The nature and development trajectory of dyslexia depends on multiple genetic and environmental influences. Dyslexic difficulties exist on a continuum and can be experienced to various degrees of severity. Dyslexia can affect the acquisition of other skills, such as mathematics, reading comprehension, or learning another language. The most commonly observed cognitive impairment in dyslexia is a difficulty in phonological processing, i.e., in phonological awareness, phonemic decoding skill, or phonological memory. However, phonological difficulties do not fully explain the variability that is observed. Working memory, orthographic skills, and processing speed problems can contribute to the impact of dyslexia and therefore should be assessed. Dyslexia frequently co-occurs with one or more other developmental difficulty, including developmental language disorder, dyscalculia, ADHD, and developmental coordination disorder. The latter, developmental coordination disorder, is also known as dyspraxia. In the video in 2005, the problems and solutions were discussed in terms of a list of problems that was up on the board in front of the participants and that is referred to in the video. It was not discussed so much in terms of the definition of dyslexia. And when you're working with an individual person, it's how that person experiences the problems and where their solutions and their strengths lie that is most important. The definition is important in a general sort of way, but in working with an individual, it's what their experience is that is most important. In 2005, the emergence of other syndromes like dyslexia was still settling down. So more than a century ago, word blindness was recognized, and that morphed into the word dyslexia. But gradually it was observed that it wasn't always language problems. There were other problems that didn't have a language basis. And so there was an emergence of different groups of problems. And so now we've emerged to having specific learning difficulties covering dyslexia, dyspraxia, ADHD, and dyscalculia. There are still language impairment syndromes that are looked at, but by and large, the other dys problems have been taken up in these four. So that is a difference between 2005 and the present day. I use the term dyslexia/SPLD in the work that I do because dyslexia is the most familiar term, but I want to keep in the wider context of SPLD, specific learning difficulties, as a more encompassing term. So I use the phrase together, dyslexia/SPLD. In the video or the workshop recorded in 2005, then I'm looking at Myers-Briggs and senses. There's a lot of ways in which people can think and which need to be taken into account when looking for solutions. But in the video that we recorded in 2005, it was only an hour and a quarter, and there wasn't time to do much more. But you need to be aware that there is so much more, and this will be part of other videos that I do on the website dyslexiastrategy.com. So that's all I want to say about updating the video that was recorded in 2005. There is a text version of what I've been saying here, and on that text page you've got the link to the workshop recorded in 2005, and there is also the text version of the definition of dyslexia that has just been produced. So that's all I want to say about that. Now enjoy A Taste of